This is Hot Mike. Hot Mike. On the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2. Ready to rock and roll on this Mustard Pant Friday edition. I got an email in. I better read this one on the air because this might empty out the station. This comes from Maddie Reinhardt, who works with us. Blizzards from Dairy Queen are in the culture room. Please only take one so everyone can enjoy. And then there's a picture with it. So I'm out of here. Done. No one's here. Like, I have an interview to play. I don't know if it's going to run now. Could we have not waited till 11 o'clock? Sabotage the news at 11. Don't let we still have another hour of the show. And by the way, I don't think there's enough here for everybody. I know it's Friday in the summer, so that's smart because half the station is on vacation anyway. But this is going to be like Lord of the Flies here after the show's done. We could have waited an hour. Of course, my dad coming up here at 10:35. Don't forget that. We mentioned off the top the Timberwolves at NBA Summer League. It's winding down last couple days. The championship comes up on Saturday. One of the teams unbeaten are the San Antonio Spurs. And former North Dakota State standout Tyson Ward is playing on the Spurs Summer League team. Got a phone call. You'll hear a few months back, actually, about playing Summer League. We have not had a chance. I have not personally talked to Tyson since the world ended, March of 2020, when his basketball career was over because of COVID before the Bison could play in the 2020 NCAA basketball tournament. So we chat about going back then to what his time in Europe has been like, to potentially getting a shot in the NBA.
I got the call actually in like maybe January with the opportunity to play Summer League with the Spurs. Didn't know what to do. So I told them that, I wanted to see how the season progressed and if it was going to, if how my body was going to feel at the end of the season. With the track that we were on, it felt like we were headed for, another long season. And I haven't really had a break yet. So I went back to back, years of playing like the longest that you can possibly can. And so I didn't know how my body was going to react. So I told them, let's just see what happens. And at the end of the season, my body felt okay enough. I had a couple days at least to put my feet up and relax. And that goes a long way. And then we told them yes and ended up coming here. And, it's been a heck of a ride so far.
What's the experience been like in Vegas? Has it been what you thought?
No, I didn't know what to expect, I've always watched it on TV. I didn't know what the lifestyle was like. And, you can definitely get caught up at the tables, you can get caught up in the nightlife and stuff like that. But here it's been, just work. Honestly, I've been in the hotel room or downstairs eating. I catch myself at the tables a couple times, but nothing too much. Practice, shooting, a lot of just basketball and getting to stay inside as much as possible since it's so hot.
Have you played as much as you thought?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I thought I'm gonna play a little bit less than what I'm playing now, but I'm playing some quality minutes and some big time spots. So I'm pretty pleased with how my summer league's been going.
That's it. How tough was that to adjust to not knowing how much you're going to play? Expectation. I'm just trying to, gauge your expectations, not knowing how many minutes you were going to get.
I mean, it kind of sets the basis for, putting your all out there when you get those minutes, and, if you put your all out there at the beginning and, those minutes continue to rise, you kind of have the blueprint, and you realize that what you're doing is continuing to get you more minutes and you just stick with that and try to continue to hammer those things down and, stay confident and keep pushing through. And hopefully you get more and more minutes and you just keep going with it and going with it.
This is an obvious question, but I have to ask it. What was the goal? I know the goal is obviously, NBA team wants to sign you, but tell me what was your goal heading into this?
My goal was honestly to see how it would fare in the NBA style play. Also to let other NBA teams see what I have to offer. You know, everything that I've done is all overseas. And, it's a little bit style game. Obviously, what I can do can translate here, but I think they would have liked to see it in in front of themselves, and with their eyes. So, this was kind of just like maybe ring some bells. Hey, get an eye on this guy, and maybe go from there.
I know it's a job opportunity and it's a tryout. Are you having fun though? Are you enjoying this, or is it nerve
Yeah, I'm having
wracking?
a blast.
Yeah.
I'm having a blast. I wouldn't say anything's too nerve-wracking. I would say only the end of the games have been nerve-wracking. We've had some close ones, but everything else has been pretty simple. It's a child's game. Get to play basketball. The game that I love, and I just go out there and have fun. That's just how I play.
I don't want you to be offended by this, but do you feel like the old man out there? You've been pro for a few years. There's some guys that are, 19 years old out there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I started calling myself old, and then once I go back, if I go back overseas, I'm gonna be right back to being in that middle gap. So it'll be nice. But I'm walking around here, I'm stretching a little bit longer, and these kids are out here already dunking the ball, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I want to ask about overseas. You had a great season, and you guys obviously had a fantastic year to win the championship. What has been the biggest, I don't know, surprise, but maybe most positive outcome that you've had that you maybe didn't anticipate going overseas to play?
I didn't expect to have this well of a career. Like um, everything I've had has been a blessing. My first year was kind of the same thing that I'm doing now with the NBA. Kind of like testing it out, giving it a feel. And then after that, I just, I found a coach, helped me out, and just hit the ground running. Found my feet and, found my niche and just stuck with it. And it's allowed me to grow into who I am now. It's a little bit different from the way I play in NDSU, but there's a lot of things that I've carried over from there.
Rocky told me just the environments over there are crazy. Can you give me like just a what's it like on a normal night for a game?
I would say a normal night would be, it depends where you play. But like a couple stadiums, like it would be like the Fargo Dome, playing against, like UND or SDSU, like one of those football games. It's like that, where everybody's out there like just going insane. And there's a lot of places that are like that with the same amount of people there in the Fargo Dome.
How much is that to build off? Like play that with that vibe. How much
Oh, it's
fun is that?
awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, that's one thing I haven't changed since I've left. Like I'm still that energy guy. I love getting the crowd involved. I feed off of it, and whether you be the bad guy or good guy, that's any any way you can like find a way to enjoy the crowd it definitely boosts me.
I'm interested. Like, so you said you've enjoyed it more than you thought. Has this prolonged your career longer than you thought? Like you're still like you're playing now. Heck, it's 5 years, almost 5 years since you've been gone. Is this even longer than you thought you'd still be playing pro basketball?
Nah, I mean, I thought I would play until the wheels fall off, and I still have that. I still have that mindset. So we're gonna keep going until I told my lady, I was like, yeah. I told somebody the other day as well. They're like, how many more years you got? And it was like 7, 8, 10. It's like 10 doesn't sound too bad. 15 years, that's not bad. That's a
That's
that's a
pretty good,
long,
man.
healthy career.
Yeah. I this stat blows my mind. I was looking back. Your 2019 team, the team that you guys played Duke, you guys have 6 guys playing pro basketball right now. I mean, out of
Yeah.
NDSU, out of one team. I mean, when I say that, what goes through your mind?
Blessings, man. Like, I mean, it's like I said it the other day too. It's just a testament to, the type of work that we all put in. Like I think those guys, like every single person that's played professional, even the ones that may not be playing professional, every single person was in that gym early when coaches weren't in there. Like we were all together getting in extra work. Um, we were just constant gym rats, and we were good people as well, and that goes a long way, especially overseas, um, and very good, like so. it's just a testament to everybody's work and everybody's like passion to keep going, because it's not an easy life overseas. I guarantee you all of them can attest to that. You know, you miss your family, you miss your friends, you miss out on a lot of birthdays, weddings, whatever it might be. Um, but you know, it's a grind for sure, and the fact that everybody's still playing is pretty impressive.
But out of NDSU, I mean, it's one thing if it's I'm talking Duke or
Yeah,
North Carolina. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, I knew you guys were good that year, but this is that's a whole other level, man.
yeah, man. It's actually like, I mean, to think about it is actually insane. You know, like it doesn't happen that much with, you know, lower teams like, you know, us, and you know, even further down the chain. And you know, like I said, it's just a testament to everybody's work. You know, you can get to where you want to get to with the right amount of work. You know, no matter where you go, you know, basketball heads will find you, basketball coaches will find you.
I know you probably think about this a lot, but I was just talking the other day. Your 2020 team, how if you guys didn't have a chance to have that March moment, how big a thing? How could that have maybe even changed your basketball career to get in front of more eyeballs had you guys had that 2020 tournament?
No idea, man. I mean, I would hope I'd be in the NBA, but that I don't know. You know, especially riding off that last game that we played, we had all that confidence. I know that we would have done some damage. We maybe would have got a couple games in the tournament. You know, could have changed the outcome of, you know, workouts for me and Vinny and,
Yeah.
you know, the guys that came out my year. It might have changed the way like things have ended up so far. But I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world. You know, like obviously it's unfortunate, but everything that's happened since then has been like an as a true blessing. You know, and everything happens for a reason. And you know, I've made peace with not being able to go to another tournament, but um, you know, there's definitely that thought in my mind, like, yeah, things could be different, but you know, I don't think I'd want them any different than now.
Last question for you. Is it wild? Like I see when I see Zion play, I'm like, man, he played NDSU played against that. I mean, you think about it now, it's
Yeah.
just wild. Like, yeah, we were on the floor with that guy.
Uh, I don't know. Like at this point, I've played against a lot of talent to the point
Yeah.
where, like, I mean, obviously Zion's a different caliber, but like at the same time, you know, at this point in my career, I'm just like everybody talks about it, like when we talk, you know, basketball or something. Like, yeah, you guys, like, I just, it's just like, all right, now it's like a yeah, okay, you know, we played against Zion. All right, cool. Um, it is what it is. You know, like I think that time is gone to the point where like I don't fixate it on as it as much as when we first came out, where I thought it was the coolest thing since sliced bread. Now that I'm more into my professional career, like, you know, things have simmered down. Like I've seen great professionals. I played against some great professionals where like, you know, they might have a name not as big as Zion, but you know, a respectable career. So, you know, I have like a little bit more um I don't know,
Perspective.
yeah, more
Yeah.
perspective on the craft and on like the people I've met. So it's nice.
I appreciate the time, man. Do you know, will you go back to Europe to your same team if this doesn't work, or do you have that? Is that still
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean,
fluid?
I'm still under contract.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still under contract. We'll see what happens here in the next couple of days with all that's going on. So just focusing right now on winning a couple more games, maybe getting a summer league championship. That would be dope. Add another championship to the belt, and then, you know, whatever happens, happens. You know, like even like the worst case scenario is that I play back in Paris on a EuroLeague level, and that's not a bad like, and that's not even the worst
No
possibility.
way, man.
If
That's pretty good.
you know, like, if the problem to have.
Our conversation with Tyson Ward, former Bison standout. Appreciate that. And yeah, again, like he ended the interview there. I mean, if things don't pan out with the Spurs, he's got to go a chance to go back and play in Paris, which not the worst place in the world to live, to be playing professional basketball. And obviously it'll be full on display here in a week's time when the Olympics begin. I go back to that point he made about the end of his career here because it was all so sudden. It was for all of those athletes, especially the seniors of the class of 2020, because we hammered this for days on end, that particular winter and spring and the summer, that they never got a chance to play. Certainly the spring athletes I'll always feel a pit in my stomach for, because they never even got a chance to have their season. High school especially. The winter season began, for baseball and softball. They played a handful of games, and then it was over by March, obviously, of 2020. But that team, I'll still contend, March 2020, after the Bison had beaten UND, and I mean they rocked UND at that Summit League championship game, every projection at the Bison as a 12 or a 13 going to the NCAA tournament, which is always that magic seed you want to get to have a potential to upset a team. The Bison were a 12 in 2014 when they beat Oklahoma. And I firmly believe the way they were playing, they were going to be trouble for somebody. You heard Tyson just confirm that in that interview just a few minutes ago, that the amount of attention would have been as high as ever. You see it all the time. We see it every year when a team from a mid-major, low-major goes and wins an NCAA tournament game. Everybody's talking about them that night, the next day, prior to their next game. That would have happened. And the amount of eyeballs on Vinny Shaheed, on Sam Griesel, on Rocky Cruiser, on Tyree Eady, on Tyson Ward would have been through the roof, man. It would have been crazy. And unfortunately, we'll never know. That's part of that lingering. We'll just never know what came of that. Now, on the other side, he's had a dynamite career. You saw some of his highlights that he's had overseas, and a couple of poster dunks. He's had a tremendous career. And whatever happens out of this, if it's a G League invite, whatever, he can look back and say, yeah, I've had a dynamite career. From a young man from Tampa, Florida, the Bison, with our guy Jaden Olson, we had on the show back in April when he got hired at Utah. J.O. was Dave Richmond's top guy. They went and saw him play, and we got to hear. And that's another part of that. There's no way he stays at NDSU now. No way. After a couple of years, somebody will go and got him. In this current climate where we're at, he was here for 4 years. You saw him develop from that first year as a freshman. Where he's like, okay, there's some pieces there. He took some strides in 18, and then 2019 just blew up to where you saw those last 2 years. He was a Summit League first-team player, and he was dynamite, really good. He and Vinny Shaheed were just tremendous to watch, and he's turned that into a pretty darn good basketball career. As I mentioned, 6 guys playing professionally off that team that went to the NCAA tournament in 2019. Appreciate his time, and good luck. We'll keep an eye on what happens this weekend with him and the Spurs. We're overdue for a break. We'll take one here, get caught up. We'll look at the second half, the baseball season, where things stand in the American League Central and the American League Wild Card as we roll on. Friday morning, Hot Mike, back after this.